So we basically try to build the platform. Okay. And
You're actually the only one that gets to pitch. You and Jason. Just so you know. You can pitch as much as you want, just when you're in conversations with people.
well,
Oh, I'm muted. I said you're actually the only one who can pitch because you're doing a demonstration, so that's fine.
okay.
Just everybody else when you're in chats, just no, it's not pitch with each other.
All right, understood. I just wanted to. I like not pitching and talking about product more, so it was for me very convenient anyway. So, but all right, so that's that. So basically, what we're trying to do is build an online booking and scheduling platform and become an e-commerce-like platform for service providers. So how did I come up with this idea? Previously, I built that service marketplace for courses, classes, and learning activity. And for 4 or 5 years, we grew it. And during this time, there were a lot of cool, and unique services. And these services were being listed in our marketplace. But we were selling commoditized services and not these unique ones. Then I realized that selling services are not commodity products, and you need to tell a story to sell services. So then we came up with the idea that these service providers need to sell their services from their own website, from their own channel, with their own brand and story. So this is how Kiwi was born. It's a pure white label solution for service businesses and freelancers, solopreneurs to sell their services from their own website and channel. So how it works is you sign up and you get to use an admin panel, which is a full-fledged ERP-like system for your service business. We call it scheduling system. So you get to manage your team members, your services, your customers. So it has an integrated CRM inside, a booking management, invoicing, and everything. So I want to start with the thing that is the actual value proposition, which is the online booking functionality. So when you create your services and put in your prices, do your configuration, you can use our own booking page, which is a standalone booking page Kiwi hosted, and this can be configured to some extent, or you can integrate into your website. And integration could be in form of small booking widgets, like this one, for example. This is a booking widget for a home service. The customer can enter their postcode and start the booking, or you can do a catalog integration and put this kind of catalog inside your own website. So this blends into your website quite well, and with your own brand identity, and the customer is basically able to go to the booking from here. And the booking process also works as an optimized checkout, and it works with your brand. It's conversion optimized. There is no distractions here. So we kind of took in the best practices of e-commerce standards and built an optimum checkout experience, booking experience for the customers, basically. So let me give some examples as to it regarding this. And we are able to serve different industries, for example. And what it means is we kind of allow you to configure your services depending on the schedule type, location type, and so on. So if it is a cooking program, which is a long program of 20 sessions, it's with a fixed date, and the customer just chooses a start date, and they don't go and choose different dates. But if it's just an appointment-based service, like a small dermatology consultation, and then the customer just chooses from a freehand calendar. So we're optimized based on the service type. You're optimizing this booking experience. So and we do it very seamlessly. We don't ask the user to just start building a funnel. We just ask them some basic questions, which I'm going to show, and then they just do we basically build the funnel on their behalf. So let's do a simple example of making a booking in-person training service. For example, for this service, we have two options, 1 session option and 10 session option, and there's the package discount. So I booked 1 session with my personal trainer, Sean, and I go to the booking page, and here we have option and variant, service variant functionality, which brings a lot of versatility. You can use it to sell add-ons like, do you need pre-workout supplements? Yes, no, and depending on the day, the price can change. Or if it's a cleaning service, this question can be, do you need us to bring cleaning materials? Or you can use it to, ask the payment terms, a deposit of 20% or pay the full amount with a 10% discount. So this brings a lot of versatility to the platform, and the customer just chooses the date and time from this freehand calendar because it's an appointment-based private service. So we are imitating the real life conversation, right? What time are you available? And based on that, I'm just choosing. And here I'm putting let's make a booking for Jake. And we go here. Again, it's in the service provider's brand, and go to the payment step. So we allow you to link your Stripe account. PayPal integration is in progress, and you capture the money directly. So we are not like a super peer or whatever. We are not the marketplace. We allow you to connect your Stripe account and get paid directly from Stripe, basically through Stripe. And then you have your terms of service. You can add the coupon codes. You can do marketing and announce coupon codes to your customer, and then you can just simply do all this from admin panel. So the customer just makes a booking, and the booking is created, and you receive a booking confirmation email, booking notification email from Kiwi, and the customer receives a booking confirmation email again with your brand, and all of which you can configure, basically the label, the fields, and all. So this is the created booking, and then I can show you a couple of different examples of how we serve different type of services. For example, make macarons with a 1 day, 3 hours course, 350 pounds. You can just book a future date and just go to the booking. As you see, we don't show here anymore a freehand calendar. We just have another question. Would you like our branded apron? Here for the cooking program, it's 20 sessions. It's every Monday and Wednesday. This is I don't know if you ever book a language course or a program. You will always see this pattern, right? They will tell you, hey, we're starting at this particular date, and it goes on every Monday and Wednesday for 10 weeks, right? Just kind of showing this in a similar fashion as a brochure would show. And this perfectly integrates to your website. So this is what we call a booking widget. So imagine you have a landing page for your booking diploma program. You can simply put this booking widget inside your page, as well as if you have a page for your, let's call it, Spanish courses, and you have different Spanish courses, A11, or private Spanish, conversation Spanish. You can create those services and wrap them in a catalog, and then put in a catalog widget inside your page. So this is really, really, versatile, and we kind of see how much you told your story, and we complement it with online bookings. If you don't even have a website, you can simply use our booking landing page, and if you have a website, you can just integrate. So, and the admin panel is basically where you create all this availabilities, working hours for the staff members. You can add sheets to them. You can enter their emails and give them access, the staff user access, where they see only their calendar and booking. They can sync with their Google calendars. You see here all the bookings for each of the staff members. Here is the services creation, where you can create services. We have an AI integration. It's just GPT wrapper, no big fuss, but people like it because it allows you to just paraphrase what you write with the AI. And in the schedule tab, you get to answer a few questions about the schedule type and the break time, the duration, and whatnot. I'm not going too much into it. I can show to whoever is interested. But one thing that I want to show is, unlike the other meeting schedulers like Calendly or whatever, which are not like a CRM and ERP, we have a different approach. And how we do this is the following. We have the customers list here, and as you see, Jake at Kiwilaunch is not just created. And what you can do is you can manage the whole customer lifecycle with the this admin panel. Imagine Jake, we just booked the person training one session, and I gave the session at this particular date, 15th of March, and then Jake was very happy with my service. I'm Sean in this case, and I say, hey, Jake, would you like to, continue every week? And Jake says, hey, I don't mind it, and I actually want it. Okay, then you say, let me create a new booking for you, and personal training with Sean. And here, as you see, it's the same booking funnel we have here. But this time I'm booking 10 sessions because the customer wants to book more sessions, no supplement whatsoever, and I'm giving him a preferential rate. One B2B thing is, since he already paid online, his Stripe payment method is masked here, I can just simply charge his card, right? So this is very beautiful because it allows you to manage the customer life cycle and just create a purchase for £500 for this customer, and then just book the customer for the next session. Or I can just create a repeating appointment series, and I can just, let's assume I was Sean and I'm just here, and I can just say, okay, as of next week, the same time, Friday, and I just book you for 12 p.m. on a weekly basis, or weekly, and Wednesdays and Fridays we do 2 sessions, and I click next. So this automatically redeems from your package, from his package, for the next 4 weeks. So every day there is a scheduler which creates the future new dates. So we are just booked Jade for the next 4 weeks now, for the 8 sessions and so on. So, and if you say I'm going for a vacation and I just want to cancel this particular session, I'm just cancel one session and the appointment series are not affected. So this allows you to manage the customer life cycle very well, and basically manage the customer bookings. I see these in my calendar. I think who did I assign to? Was it Leonard? So, and yeah, Jake person training here, and I can just click here and go to the booking. I see my calendar every day, or I can just create simply here a new appointment and then book my customer. So let's assume this time again it's Jake, and this time we are doing ad hoc sessions and private personal training. Yeah. So I just create a person training session, redeeming from this package. This time, of course, the date and time is already there because I came from the calendar. So we create these very smooth user experience for the admin, and it's like a full-fledged ERP-like system for a microservice business, up to 10, 20 kind of staff members. I think largest company we're serving have at the moment around 40, 50 cleaners. So it's really advanced for managing your business, and with invoicing, with taxes and everything. But at the same time, it's I call it, I say, deceptively simple for a solopreneur, because we made the onboarding as smooth to not show them the irrelevant thing before they become relevant. So everybody is really praising us about how simple we are, how easy was it for them to start. But at the same time, there is a huge ERP system in the back end where they can actually manage a 30, 40 people team. So this is what we are really proud, because we kind of have a very good UX. So this kind of, I could talk a little bit about service creation and how these services are different created. But for the sake of this demo, maybe this would be enough. I'm not sure. You guys can tell me. Small community, small group, anyways. So, but that's basically as my presentation. I try to give a industry agnostic demo. When I do demos for different industries, I kind of choose one particular account. Like, for example, Sean Mount is actually an account with me, trained with Sean, and you have the services. And if I'm giving a demo to a personal trainer, I'm using this. But with this group, I try to give a industry agnostic one. Hope I wasn't very confusing and overwhelming. But one thing to add note, I think we're trying to sit at the perfect spot when it comes to how sophisticated it needs to be, because meeting schedulers, salon spa software awfully oversimplifies the booking process for solopreneurs. And these big ERP kind of software are very, very sophisticated, and they don't have optimized online booking. So how even if you're this freelancer personal trainer, as you see, you will have a free online consultation, maybe over WhatsApp and everything. You might have person training at your gym. So Sean comes to Jake's place, and of course Sean has the area coverage, cannot go to whole country, and you can manage them in the service configuration. And at the same time, you can go to Sean's gym, what's called Titan Gym, and take the services there. And there are packages with this. There's redeeming from packages. There might be 4 weeks transformation challenge kind of group sessions. As you see, even for a simple looking person trainer, it is actually, there is a complexity which is not handled by typical appointment schedulers like Calendly or their competitors. There are tons of them. And I think they're trying to sit at the right spot to fulfill this this trade-off between simplicity and enough complexity to actually manage their practice and business. So yeah, that's basically it. What do you guys think? Maybe Jake, you can leave. Let me, yeah.
Let's get rid of the tunnel. Stop sharing your screen.
You're mute, I think.
Oh, I am. I'm obviously tired. Can you stop sharing your screen so we don't see the tunnel?
Sure. Sure.
Although, it's great tunnel. Yeah, if anybody else has questions before I get into it, just go ahead and hit that hand icon first so that you can ask your question, and then I'll get into it with you, and we'll have a discussion. But I'll give everyone just a second. Okay, so, oh yeah, you've got a hand raised, so.
Hi, sorry, how to pronounce your name?
Orkun.
Orkun. Okay, it's spelled, it sounds similar to my first name. My first name is Yang Kun. It's also yeah. So, firstly, thank you very much for your presentation. I can see it's a very comprehensive system. Like, it has so many features. And I was just wondering, because maybe I missed it from your demo. If I'm your customer, can I reschedule or cancel my booking?
Well, it's a very good question. So we try to, optimize for reducing refunds and sales, since we're not an appointment scheduling system. So we realize that the most service businesses, Yankun, are not enforcing their cancellation policy. So imagine you're a personal trainer and your customer just tells you 3 hours before, hey man, I have an emergency, my kid, blah, blah, nanny, and do you mind if we just cancel? So my observation is nobody almost in this micro business and solopreneur community, nobody enforces their cancellation policy. So when you do give cancellation option to the customer, or which also same for rescheduling, you need to enforce the cancellation policy. But the real world doesn't work like that. And then it becomes a negative sum game where you are showing a cancellation option in the email, which is actually a call to action of cancellation. But technically you're losing money. So that is the reason we are not doing it. And almost everybody who wants us from are trying to use our system as like a meeting scheduler, like for free services and appointments, which is not the direction we're trying to go, if it makes all sense. I think we will eventually not going to resist and stop fighting and just build that functionality. but I'm very sure, because that's how it happens. Customer is always the boss. But we're trying to really, and not in a humble way, trying to do the best for them and for their conversions and for their sales. Similar thing, for example, we are not allowing to put survey intake questions inside the checkout, because every single field is reducing the conversion by 7%. It's proven fact now in the e-commerce domain, and we're trying to avoid it. And you're getting it like every day. I don't know how long we can do it. So similar to that, we're trying to protect our customers from them a little bit, but we're not as arrogant like Apple do it. Every time we're trying to actually explain why, and eventually perhaps we'll have to feel this. Maybe hide a little bit and try to
I see. Gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting observation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another question is like, it's more like just an idea. You mentioned that you are not providing any like post-service survey for the customers, but I didn't hear the reason very clearly. What is the reason?
I said we don't allow yet to enter survey questions, inside the booking experience. So imagine you try to buy from Amazon something and would you see like 5 survey questions? No, right? Because it's really not best for conversion. It can leave the funnel. If a customer wants to, send out a survey after the booking or after the actual service takes place, then we encourage them to either use our booking confirmation email and add a type form like link inside the booking confirmation email, or use the Zapier integration, which we also have to create these automation to send Google Forms or platforms like that. So there are solutions to do that. And we just didn't build. We don't want to be the next a survey company. We're not trying to build another type form inside the platform. We're only building the functionality that is really needed.
I see. Yeah. The idea in my mind was like maybe it will be beneficial for the service providers to have some sort of channel to receive users' feedback or review after they finish.
That we have. We have an automation section. We have 2 automation scenarios. Number 1 is the review automation. So we send a review request email after the service takes place. So that is already there and it's working. And they leave a 5-star or something, and then leave their review, and it shows on their booking page and catalog embeds. We have that, but that's just one field. We are not like making it a form builder per se. We are just having 5 stars, which review, simple review mechanism, like a simple process.
Gotcha. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you very much for the questions. Just a second. You're mute, I think, again. Okay.
Yeah. So, any other questions before I get into this? You gotta always wait that 10 seconds, but I don't like awkward silences, so I'm gonna keep talking and I'm gonna dance a little bit, trying to get my day started right. Love your product. Know a lot about this problem that you're trying to solve, and I'm kind of curious. I know a lot about it because my first business was in residential service, and I had 6 crews, 32 employees, and so scheduling was a thing. Real quick, where did this idea come from? What's the genesis story behind it? Like, where did you guys, what were you guys doing that made you go, okay, this is what I want to get into, and this is the problem I want to solve?
I'll elaborate a bit more. My last startup was a service marketplace. So imagine I'm selling the service from this wonderful African lady who would take 5-10 women to a wellness retreat to Bali, right? Mm-hmm. It's an amazing service, and we would sell the service in our marketplace, but nobody's buying it. And I was surprised, and all we sell is more commoditized services. Then I realized that this lady has an amazing community, and a great website, but she's not able to, actually sell the services and complement that with an online booking. So the marketplaces are great, it's good diversification, but service providers need their own system to channel their organic and their own marketing efforts into and manage the life cycle of these customers. So this is how the idea was born, because I sold like thousands of customers, hundreds of different services, and during which it became more and more apparent that this was the need. And then I started, testing out the product, because having interviewed hundreds of service providers from different industries, in their shoes, I could actually test these products. These are not very tech-savvy people. And every time I get disappointed, because everybody does amazing landing pages. Don't want to talk about competitors, because now it's they have to everywhere. But I would see a landing page, and I would immediately feel, oh, what I want to do is to be done. And then let me sign up. Put my credit card if it's necessary, and then start trying out the platform. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The courses, selling courses, managing packages, having this ERP aspect, having a vertically integrated system, having an optimized online booking integrated with a proper scheduling system was almost never there. Actually, not almost, it was never there. So, and regardless of how much money you are willing to pay, because most bigger companies end up evolving and solving to bigger ERPs and solving industry-specific problems. Films come with the success. Suddenly they become the amazing home services HVAC kind of company and become a $1 billion company with a $100 million investment. And then these smaller micro businesses again don't have a solution. So we try to keep our focus on this niche, which is not very wealthy, not very doesn't have too much money, doesn't have too much revenues or whatever. But we believe this is, when it comes to gig economy, solopreneurs. You would have an Oracle VP engineer who would just start a dog walking club with us. So this is, I believe, is very valuable. For us, I don't think they have a cool and nice enough way to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a clean product, and like I said, I've had this problem. This was before there was really any online scheduling, because it was back in the 90s. But it was an interesting, and early 2000s, I guess, which is right when those online schedulers started coming out. But they never worked for us because we were geographical, right? Like we had to go out to locations, and I still don't think that problem's been solved.
I don't think so. Yeah, the real estate, because it needs to be also, in a sense, vertically integrated, meaning that it needs to be synced with the listing. So every booking needs to be associated with the listing, and whole CRM flows need to be built accordingly. We're getting a lot of times, can I use it for my real estate agent? We say you can use it for property photography or assessment, inspections, these kind of things, but not for, viewings and
yeah. Makes sense. So now, where are you guys at in your process? You've launched on Product Hunt now, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to remember. And then, are you guys do you guys feel like you've gotten that product market fit where people are just loving your product and buying it up like crazy, or are you still looking for that product market fit?
Definitely the latter, and I think there is a educational process behind this. The digitalization of a micro business, a freelancer, is not an easy thing. When I'm in London, street musicians have these caps, for tipping, for credit card. But I think during COVID it really got better, online payments and everything. But then there was a bounce back, So I think we're facing it. Our long-term bet is that most of the transactions will happen online in a few years. But at the same time, the banking transaction, ACH, everything, they're becoming easier and easier, which is also no commission kind of thing. So when we sell, Jake, our product, we're also selling Stripe. We're also selling online payments, which is not easy, because to convince someone to give up 2-3% of their revenues for online payments, it is something. So I think we are not there yet, and we are just trying to build a good community, fill in the needs, trying to see where it's going. Some people want to use it just for the ERP aspect. Some people don't even care. They just create 4 or 5 dummy staff members and they just try to get bookings. So I think we'll see. We're yet to see where we will see the most adoption.
So where's your?
We have a product.
When you say, so am I required, if let's say I hired your guys' company to come work and do my scheduling in my ERP as a small business owner, so you'd require me to use Stripe, or I can't take payments at time of service?
No, you can take, we have the in-person cash on delivery option.
Oh, okay.
And we are not trying to, and we're not encouraging it, because the online payment, even if it's a small deposits, are really good for reducing no-shows and increasing retention for follow-up bookings. But you can use it for in-person bookings. You don't have to pay any transaction fee whatsoever. You can just use it for. But the thing is, the people are more looking for revenues, and the hook product becomes the online booking. Becomes the online booking, which comes with online payments. So they then start getting online bookings. After 3, 4, 5 bookings, they start to get more excited about the ERP part. So ERP part is not selling; it's retaining the customer.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, it's just service creation. Let's put the setup or configuration aside. The CRM and booking management part is people don't care in the beginning. But the moment they get third booking, they start to care very much.
So I'm going to get a little bit into your business model, if you don't mind. I'm really curious at so one of the things that I noticed this with a lot of scheduling services and a lot of CRMs and ERPs. I've noticed that they try to build for everyone, right? And that is very, very difficult. You've done a great job at it, like from what I can see. I can see you kind of checked all the marks of what I would have been looking for when I was looking. But have you narrowed in on a specific target market? I'm guessing it's the fitness area, but no. So, but have you narrowed in on one that you're like, you know what, these are the guys or these are the ladies that are going to pick up our product every single day and they just love it, and I'm going to keep nailing that one over and over again?
Well, not yet, because I generally try to, even when we talk to investors, this question comes a lot, because everybody wants you to focus, right? So I try to call our industry the personal services industry, not personal training, not salon spa, not massage. I try to call it personal services industry. And the important thing is when we focus on solving one vertical's problem, we realize that in any case, we need to build these versatile different schedule types, at-home options, and everything anyways. So there's no cooking school in the world who doesn't give private sessions. Every cooking school in the world provides cooking private sessions. So imagine you have a Chef Diego, and that Chef Diego is giving a Italian cooking class every Thursday, but this is, with wine and dine and kind of experience. But these guys also have certificate programs. But then if you say, hey, I want to have a private session with my wife on Valentine's Day with Chef Diego, they're also fine with this. As you see, this appointment type, big schedules, at-home services, these kind of different kind of services, even that's the reason why I showed the Sean Mount personal trainer example, they go hand to hand. And we needed to build these anyway. And then suddenly we are able to solve the problems of different markets. For example, I would say, do we have challenges in particular things? For example, with medical, we don't have HPAA compliance yet, right? So this is an important compliance check, but it's on the upper layer it's not in the core of the product, right? Mm-hmm. You can just plug it into your product, or for the for the salon spa vertical, most of the time they have multiple services right after each other. It's very hard to book it with our platform because we have the option variance functionality and it kind of messes up the schedule. So there are some partial fits and some, less fit with some verticals, but overall we see that they're all happy and we don't see yet the need to specialize, because whatever we do most of the time are benefiting most of our users.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying specialize. I agree with you on a lot of what you're doing, and we're very similar here at Mingle. Is that we could go to a plethora of different industries and different places, and be that kind of platform. When I say, well, I'm talking strictly marketing, right? Like, who do you want to just nail to the wall and is going to, where are you going to go a mile deep, right? That's kind of where's your bulkhead? Where's that first piercing that's going to get you into the market and start giving you the revenue that you need in order to now capture the rest of the market, right?
I think the new business starters would be the best for us because it's extremely convenient for them. For existing business who are using a platform already or Excel already, 20, 30 people, there's always a friction. Right? There's change management here. We don't want to give enterprise level support. We want to be product led. So in this regard, there's a friction. So I think that there is a way for us to, imagine you want to just start a yoga studio, and it's very obvious that how you want to start from digitalization perspective. You create a website at Wix, you integrate Kiwi to your admin panel and to your website, and you get online bookings. Just a simple start. So I think that the early starters of service businesses and new starters and solopreneurs would be for us the right people. Is it hard? I think it's very hard because you cannot scrape them in Google Maps and just shoot for them, right? It's not an easy thing, and we're trying to solve the chicken and egg problem before this.
Yeah.
So and maybe if we already have solved that problem, we would be playing a different game right now. So that's maybe the reason. To the complexity and beauty of our product, I think our stage is still, in terms of go-to-market and adoption, is very, very low and very.
Well, I think that I'm sure that somebody that's listening, especially in the Product Hunt community, definitely knows how to scrape that data that you're looking for. We've got a lot of creative minds, so I would suggest that anybody that's there reach out and say, hey, this is how we can scrape it. But the last question I like to ask, and we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. The last question I like to ask is, now we're listening. We're a bunch of influential people in Product Hunt. We're a lot of product designers, a lot of marketers, a lot of different people from all over the globe. I guess the question to you is, how can the Product Hunt community help you? What can we do for you to help this process? So if you had one thing.
Well, it's a very good question, Jake. Actually, we launched yesterday, and I was quite, disappointed by how little the interaction, the number of meaningful interactions. I had a very good perception about Product Hunt and the community, but I didn't see any kind of, that. I don't want to, of course, undermine the ones that I actually had, but maybe 2 or 3. So thanks to them, it was not very. It looked too much like a popularity contest and just going for badges and people just and then it looked more like a playbook. And to be honest, I'm more about having the advice about how we can reach early adopters, how we can be known, validate our go-to-market, and reach maybe a niche community of creators, maybe musicians, because I think one of these communities are going to give us a shoulder and just make us, rise a bit, I'm sure. we're seeing an incredible adoption with, life coaches and this kind of coaching community. For example, I can see they have started to, share it in their communities. They have a strong one. So I think in terms of product community, that could be the best. I kind of gave up on getting genuine product feedback, although I was really, really looking forward to it. What product gaps we would have, but that was not very
well. Yeah, and honestly, I'm telling you, you got a clean product. It's a pretty product. Like probably one of the cleanest scheduling ERPs I've seen, or CRM. You use the term ERP. I use the term CRM.
Same. Yeah. It's partial overlap with all.
Yeah. I just I'm tripping over my shoelaces, but no, it's a clean product, and I think that's probably why you didn't get a lot of feedback on it, because it's like, hey, you're actually thought of most of the stuff, and you would have even gotten it with the few people that we've got here with us that would have raised their hand if there was something that was just like glaringly off. Like, so for instance, with Mingle, I know that it's a pain in the butt to sign up, because guess what? Everybody's like, hey, by the way, it's a pain in the butt to sign up. And we're like, yeah, we're working on it now. Thanks a lot. Like, that was the number one thing. Right when we launched, everybody's like, oh yeah, we love when we get in, if we can get in. Right? But that was one of those, what you're looking for. But I'm just saying, yours looks clean. So I do have a recommendation for you. I'll make a connection with this company that I work with called All the AI. What he does is he will scrape that data you need, and he'll create a channel for it to feed to you. Then one other thing I would suggest is boots on the ground are amazing for this kind of product. It sounds crazy, but you getting into those small businesses and just talking to them, that will get you sales. It's not scalable, but it's what Uber did. It's what it's how Uber got to where they are. They were boots on the ground, and they were just killing every market. And they would send teams out there to literally boots on the ground talk and sell. Right. So,
but I want to talk about it, by the way. Maybe interaction will tell. We actually really tried quite hard in two markets we piloted, because the US market has a different time zone for it. So we tried in the UK and the UAE, which was my old startup, where I think the problem was when people see there's online booking in the marketplace, they have this incredible urge, I must have it. And when you try to go out and try to convince, then you are not finding those. Most of the time, you're not finding those companies. And the problem is when you sell to them, generally you end up selling to companies who have an optimistic view about their traffic. So they don't have analytics, they don't have online marketing whatsoever. And when you sell to them, they think that immediately they're going to get 1-2 bookings every day. That is hard, right? You need people who are really spending a lot of money for it, and when they don't get that money, they think that our product doesn't work for them. We kind of faced it. This is the reason why we're trying to go to a little bit digital savvy markets, because when you boots on the ground generally brings you less digital savvy, less technical people who just either don't know any digital marketing, or they just assume that they will suddenly get bookings and traffic when they have.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But I agree with you. We really bet on quite a big bet on that.
Yeah, it's one of the things that was big for me, and I'm going to tell you from my own experience. One of the things that was big for me is we got a lot of calls. We'd come into the office and we'd have 30 messages to schedule appointments, right? So it was something where we needed an online scheduler. And I think that's more of what you're looking for, is those people and you can just ask them, hey, how many voicemails do you have, or how many emails do you have for an appointment when you get in the morning? And they're like, well, I've got like 10 or 15. And it's like, wouldn't you like that those weren't there, that they could just schedule it online in the middle of the night when they're in their pajamas? Right? And then they're going to be like, oh yeah, that just totally makes sense. Right? And that's what I was looking for and could never actually find. But that's my word of advice. Like I said, I'll get you connected with all the AI, and I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that probably have a good way of validating your market and helping you get to where you need to get. So reach out, and then go ahead and end your broadcast, and we're going to move on to Jason and have him do his demo.
Thanks everybody for listening. I will try to first be in this first part with Jason. I feel like I stole a little bit time from him. Sorry, Jason. I will try to listen to the first part at least. If not, I couldn't maybe make Q&A. Thank you very much for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Jason, you got the control, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. All right, let me share my screen. Can everybody see the screen now? Awesome. All right. Thanks for inviting me to join this community. My name is Jason. I'm currently based in Pittsburgh. So I think I'll go with the style of combination of slide presentation and also live demo of what we're doing right now. So yeah, the tool that we're building is called WisdomPlan. Basically, we use AI to create personalized learning pathway for adult learners to learn new career skills. And how did we come up with this idea? It's actually based on my personal learning experience. So I came from the background in economics, and now I'm working as a product designer and manager. So I'm self-taught PM and designer, and I went through the process of self-learning for the past few years. And I feel like there's a great need for me to really navigate through this learning process. And I also mentioned the pinpoints that I encounter when I navigate through the process as well. So the problems that we are solving can be summarized into one sentence. So we know that generative AI is transforming future workforce, and according to statistics from I think Coursera, about 12 million workforce workers in the US will require reskilling and upskilling by 2030. And so adult learners, they have a growing need to learn new career skills. And these includes two groups of people, college students as well as professionals. For college students, they want to learn skills to land a job. And for professionals, they need to learn skills to advance in career or transition in a new career. However, the existing solutions have some drawbacks. For example, for boot camps, they can be very expensive. And for online courses, usually they offer a one-size-fits-all approach, which causes low motivation and completion. Just take a look at the MOOCs, the massive online course. These platforms, they have a very low completion rate, which is around 8% to 10%. And also for self-learning, all these self-learners are frustrated with the lack of direction and guidance, as well as the overwhelming information and resources. And also when they do the task, they can also feel isolated. So we think there's a solution to provide a more affordable, efficient, effective, and collaborative and personalized learning experience to help them learn new skills for the future of work. So how do we do that? So we built WisdomPlan, an AI platform, AI-powered community-driven learning platform that guides these learners to skill mastery and career growth. And we built the product centered around a theory called self-directed learning in the learning science domain. According to this theory, the self-learning process can be broken down into 4 phases: plan, learn, reflect, and share. And for each phase, we have our own core feature. For example, for the plan phase, we have an AI plan generation engine that generates personalized learning pathway that I'll be showcasing later. And also for the learn phase, we have some learning support tools such as AI tutor, a reminder, study group, etc. And also for the share phase, we have a community where the learners can share their learning plans and other learners can adopt the plans with a single click. And yeah, so in terms of the workflow, as I mentioned, as showcased in the loop, so there are steps involved. First, the learners create their plans by including some of the information such as the learning goals, backgrounds, and preferences. And then they can do the task, also customize the task. And lastly, they can share their plans. I think I will stop here and then just do a quick live demo of the product. Yeah, so as you can see from the dashboard, so we have three module or more three tabs: My Plans, Analytics, and Community. My Plans is the place where all the learning plans are stored and managed. So for a new learner, we can create a new plan using our AI. So the first step is to provide a description of the learning goal. So basically, the learning goal can be literally anything or any skill that you want to learn. And here I'm gonna give an example. For example, I want to develop the landing page, the interactive landing page for a SaaS product. And we also observed that for most novice learners, they don't even really know how to frame a learning goal. So we also have a feature using AI to refine the goal. So as you can see, the goal is basically structured with two components: the skills and knowledge they want to learn, and also the application condition that I want to apply the knowledge. So for me, this is actually my application condition. I can also mention I want to learn front-end development skills to develop an interactive landing page. Yeah. Then I can move to the next page. So for the second step, you are asked to provide a starting point. For example, I have no programming experience. And except for experience, I can also be your education or even the skill level you have. In the third step, you can choose a preferred type of resources. It can be video, projects, and articles. Here I'm going to select all of them. And then you can specify your time and your deadline. Say I'm going to learn this task by the end of March, and I will spend about 10 hours per week. Yep, so lastly, you can name the plan as landing page. It takes about 8 minutes to generate, so I'll stop here and then go back to the slides just to go through all the slides, and then we can revisit the plan. Yeah, so I just showcased the process of AI planning or AI learning planning. So basically, there are two core features. First, the personalized pathway. So compared to the traditional learning platforms such as Coursera, Skillshare, they use more of a recommendation algorithm that recommends online courses based on the learner's interests or the selection of different topics. But for our personalized pathway, we have a more advanced personalization engine that can tailor the plans based on their unique inputs such as their goals, backgrounds, and preferences. And our AIs will take care of the tasks such as program analysis, task organization, and also resource curation as well as scheduling. And these can be done within 10 minutes. And after generation, the learners can also regenerate or customize the plan by like providing new prompts to our AI. For example, if the learners feels that like the plan is too easy or is totally wrong, they can also regenerate, or maybe they want more elaborated resources, they can also ask the AI to regenerate the task. And this kind of regeneration can be plan level as well as task level. And we also have a community where the learners can share the plans with other learners. So as you can see, we have so at the early stage, so we focused on more specific domains, technology, design, business, as well as data science. And we are planning to ship another feature called AI Tutor, I think at the end of March. So we also observed that like most learners, after they plan their task, they also need help when they navigate through their learning process. And our AI tutor can provide instant helps, and we also provide personalized feedbacks to their questions when they do their task. And also the AI tutors can generate adaptive assessments. And what I mean by adaptive is that these questions or quizzes are sort of adapted by the AI. And when the learners do the questions, the AI will analyze the performance and whether they are doing it right or wrong, or whether it needs more scaffolding, and so that the AI engine can recommend more relevant questions or questions that are more appropriate difficulty level to the learners as they go through the quiz. Yeah, so I can also share a bit about our users. So we launched the product on March 3rd, and we got I think the number 3 product of the day. But what we found most valuable are all the use cases we have so far. So our type of users are actually for like specific groups of people. For example, for the college students, we have undergrads and graduate students. The motivation is to learn the job. And some of the example use cases are, say, undergrad students want to learn data analysis with Python to get a job, or they want to like plan a physics proposal on this topic, just to collect the most relevant resources. And for professionals, they either want to advance in the career, and that is upskilling, or they want to transition into new career, that is reskilling. And because they are very busy and they really want some quick solution and on very specific and very new topics. For example, there's a developer using our products to generate a roadmap on using OpenAI APIs to develop an app, and find it very helpful, especially when it comes to implementation. You can just go follow the plan step by step and then finish the projects. And we also see some use cases on career transition. For example, there's an artist on a platform wants to transition into the role of UX designer by learning more UX tool. Yeah, so these are the testimonies. I don't want to spend too much time here. Just give you a quick look. So we have now users from some leading institutions. Yeah, and that's it. And I think I can stop here and then go back and check but still generating, you know. Yeah, I think I can like stop here and then I can open any questions you have, maybe. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Very, very, very cool product. I love the idea of. I love the idea of just saying, "Hey, this is what I want to learn," and then it builds the plan for you. Oh, I'm on mute.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm awful today. You think my etiquette for video conferencing would be a lot better. I'm going to pause and let anybody else ask questions first, just like I did before, just in case, because I do like to get into it and do more of an interview style. So I'm going to let you answer questions from other people first, and then I'll jump up. So I think you've got another hand raised right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Jason, for the presentation. I missed the output of you did a live demo for the front end development. I think I missed the output. I was checking your website. Maybe I didn't see it. I'm very sorry if you already showed.
Yeah, so it's still generating right now.
Still all right. Then so
when it's done, I can share the link. I can also like share the.
Perfect. So I wanted to know if the generation had like links to Coursera, Udemy kind of things. Like, what about training material? Like, do you kind of play on that, or your users, for example, Harvard? You said, do they put their own training materials and your algorithm just mixes these goals with them? Or is it like you're using public Udemy kind of APIs to, I couldn't, that missing piece I couldn't understand fully.
Yeah. That's a good question in terms of the outputs of the plan generation. So first of all, so at this stage, so we are still validating the idea. So WisdomPlan is the B2C learning platform. So we are serving the individual learners. So and because of that, that is to the second point. Where does our content come from? So we use AI to like curate the learning resources across the internet, and that includes different types of resources. For example, videos. We source YouTube videos, and for projects and say web pages, we like search the internet and then curate different websites. And so when you receive the plan, usually within that plan, there will be different types of resources based on your preferences. And it can be a YouTube video, and it can also be a course if we think that is relevant to your current task or current level or current needs. So that it's possible that one of the output or one of the tasks can be course from Coursera, Udemy, as long as we believe that is relevant to your current state.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let me check. Oh yeah,
Do I?
go ahead, please.
How do I get out of the data? Am I clicking the status? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So the plan generation is complete, so I can like share with you again about the output. All right, so yeah, so as you can see, when it's complete, you can just click on it, and then it leads us to plan detail page. So for the learning plan, it's actually a hierarchical structure. So we define a plan with four layers or four components. First, we have sections. As you can see, this can be a section. And under each section, there will be different tasks. And for example, the section about getting started with HTML has 2 tasks about the foundations of HTML. And for each task, it is related to learning resource, but we are currently like optimizing like this feature. We want to like make it a one-to-many relationship. That is, one task can be correlated with maybe many resources that we think are relevant to the task. And for each resource, there will also be a notes area that the learners can take notes. So yeah, and for this plan, I think I can briefly go through the structure of plan. So as you can see, it's broken down into 5 sections. The first section is a plan overview, which basically gives you a quick rundown of the plan, what you're going to learn, and then some related resources and tips and tricks. And what you will learn section is actually a very tailored part of the guidance. So you mention all these like knowledge components or knowledge skills that you will learn throughout the process. And yeah, and I think from the perspective of like content evaluation, we also tailor the plan to the nature of the domains, and it's based on the levels of difficulties. For example, when, as I mentioned, I'm a novice learner, I have no programming experience. So you guys first start with the HTML, which is the most basic type of markup languages, and then we start with the CSS and JavaScript, and that basically wraps up like the front end, the core part of the front end development learning. And lastly, some of the relevant tasks or relevant skills that you will need when you want to implement the development of the landing page. You need to learn about version control. You also need to learn about some of the web design stuff. For example, UX principles, user experience, and some of the techniques we have. And yeah, and as you can see here, so for this one, we actually sourced one of the articles from Academy about how to deploy a website. And also giving that as well. It's actually a course though, and some of the courses can be paid courses, but and some of them can be free courses, as long as we believe that this course, this resource is relevant to that, to the current state. Yeah, I think I'll stop here and I'll just give you a little bit of the background. So we also have a point system where the learners can it's basically like a token. So for each plan generation, it costs 1 point, and yeah, and we want to based on this to also gamify the learning experience for in our later development. Yeah. Any questions or feedback? Oh, maybe I can invite welcome first. Yeah. Oh, I think you are unmuted. You're unmuted. Yeah.
Sorry. I just signed up and tried to do a small test. It's generating now. I want to ask, do you recommend this for a bit longer term, large training goals, or more smaller, easy to bite? I want to just put intercom to my website, or I want to just integrate blah blah to a small technical kind of thing, like a whole I want to learn front end kind of thing, versus hey, I already know front end development, I want to understand the React while I already have React.js knowledge. Kind of. So yeah, how do you see it? Because you must have done at least hundreds of tests of your product, and you should have validated in your mind qualitatively, quantitatively how the results are. And it's always a question. I'm just curious, what is your main, where do you see your more strength?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think also my co-founder Yan can answer that later, but I can share my points on this question as well. So, based on the testing performance, we find out that skills learning is actually the area that we perform best for our AI generation. So what I mean by skills learning is usually those technical skills or skills that requires long-term commitment. For example, you want to master front-end development, or you want to really build something, and that requires different kinds of skills and over a long period of time. And so currently our focus is on those maybe longer term learning, for example, what you say web development. But for learners who have more advanced learning needs, for example, open, and you want to learn a specific knowledge skill set, say React, that can be also feasible, because our AI generation is not confined to a certain topic. So as long as you specify your starting point as well as your ending points, we can generate the path based on your inputs. So yeah, but at least for now, our focus is more on the long-term skills learning.
Okay, thank you very much. So now I want to leave aside so Jay can ask his.
Just want to add into that your question.
You gotta raise your hand for him to be able to talk to you.
And then we can share a bit as well.
Okay. So I was saying just want to add to that question. So in terms of personalization, if your learning goal is a more advanced goal, that means there will be fewer content across the internet for us to personalize, for us to find the most appropriate one for you. So that will be the reason, maybe for some more introductory content, the learning paths we crafted for you will be more personalized. But for advanced content, due to the lack of learning materials over the internet, we can still create a learning pathway for you, but that may not be very personalized. Yeah.
Hey, I remembered to unmute this time. So no, I really like my question. I was looking at the plan, and I've already signed up, and I'm having a plan generated, just because it's a really cool product. Very, very, very useful in a lot of ways, and I can see it being used in a lot of different ways as well. So I'm sure that your options on go to market are massive. And so you guys probably have to pick where you're focusing. But my first question was, so as I'm going through those steps in the plan, does it actually start creating a more complicated plan for me, so that I can continue my learning path? Or does it basically say, here's the plan, you met the goal, now you have to build a new plan off of that plan? You have to build a whole new plan? Or can that plan actually start to deepen and just go further into that knowledge?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, which is related to the concept of called adaptive learning in the learning science domain. So currently so if you want to like advance to more so progress to the more advanced learning phase, you have to create a new plan after like finishing all the tasks. Yeah, but we definitely like in the future we're looking to the what you're referring to, the adaptive learning part. So ideally the AI system can adapt to your like learning performance by like say automatically generating like relevant path or task as you go. I think that's your ideal situation, but we're still working on this.
Oh, cool. It looks like Yakun has a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yes. So actually you can now, because we have a feature called regeneration. Like that feature will enable you after you generate a complete plan, and you can select some of the tasks within the plan and regenerate them. So in your use case, what you need to do is to, for example, select the last task in your plan and right click on it and choose regenerate, and then you will be prompted to write a very simple instruction. You can simply write, I want more advanced tasks. Or for example, if you have finished learning React, you want to learn more about Next.js or Tailwind CSS, you can simply specify it in your regeneration instructions. That's the current way for you to extend your plan. Like theoretically, you can extend it to any length as you want. However, if you want to like completely revise your background and your goals and your schedule preferences, then you will have to do the generation process from the starting point, like all over again. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And actually, you should just stay up here. It's probably better to have you both here answering the questions anyway.
Yeah. I will stay here.
Yeah. So so where are you guys at in the are you guys post revenue or pre revenue?
Pre-revenue.
Pre-revenue.
We haven't launched like the pricing plan though. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, so I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, how's the adoption been so far? Oh, I think I lost your sound. Nope, we still
cannot hear you.
You can do the soft refresh. It's the fourth button over from the bottom right. There we go. Yep.
Oh, interesting. I was wondering, why do you have soft refresh?
Because if we're in this kind of situation, we don't want them to completely come out of the application and then come back in. It can cause some problems.
What about now?
Yeah, we got you back.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. So to your question, so after the launch, we have seen, I think, at least from our perspective, very active engagement. So I can share a bit about one of the metrics, which is the AI plan generated plans. So I think for now, so on the first day after the launch, we have nearly 400 AI plans generated. And so far, I think on average, maybe 60 to 70 AI plans. I think Yanquan can also add that. So, because one of our goals at this phase is to validate our, like the core value of AI plan generation. So I think that metric is very important for us to see as a input for the validation.
Gotcha. And so, and are you guys I'm assuming you're a direct to consumer product. Is that the goal? So you're looking at You're looking at selling to individuals. What kind of price plan are you looking at? So, as a father of children, this is something that I would totally buy for my kids because I love the idea of my kids saying, "I'm interested in X, and here's the plan to take me to X." Right, which is such a better way of learning. This traditional way we have of learning is garbage compared to that. And why not use the technology? This is why I love your guys' product. Why not use the technology that exists now to help us do that with our kids, so that we're hitting their dopamine cycles and we're getting them engaged and they're really excited to learn this new thing, and then maybe they stop wanting to learn that and they move on to something else, and that's perfectly okay, right? Like, that's the goal. So I guess my question is like, what kind of price point are you guys looking at for something like this? And do you guys have any restrictions on ages at this point?
Currently no restrictions on ages. And yeah, in terms of the price range, we are looking at the range between $6 to $10 per month, but we are probably targeting at 6 to 7, like something like that. And that takes into consideration different factors. For example, the purchasing power of the end users, because like a majority of the users, as I mentioned, at least now, are college students, some professionals as well. So yeah, and their purchasing power is one factor. And also, we are also like looking at some industry benchmarks. So this company, I'm not sure like whether you have heard of it, Duolingo, is also a company based in Pittsburgh. So they are also providing the premium like subscription services to the language learners. So they are charging about, I think, $15 per month for their AI services. And yeah, and also another company is called Check. So Check is basically the like a quiz hacker for the college students. So I think also costs about like $15 to $20. But I think another like factor that we are looking at is actually the cost. So the cost for AI plan generation, based on our estimation, is less than $1 like per plan. I think that's actually like one of the advantage for these products. So if you really want to scale up the products, especially at a low cost, and I think that's actually, and then also considering like the users' real behavior or real engagement with the products, because most users they usually cannot consume all of the wisdom points to generate all the plans like within a few months. So I think that's another factor we are thinking about. So the price range 6 to 7 maybe.
Gotcha.
But we haven't finalized it yet.
No, and that's not bad at all. I mean, it's especially if my kid wants to learn coding. Like, geez, come on. Like, you know how much? What is Code Academy? Code Academy, I think, is free. But then if you want to get into like Pluralsight, what is Pluralsight? Like $60 a month.
Yeah.
Right, and they're by far probably the best way to learn coding if you're learning online. But man, it's expensive. Like, I don't want to spend that kind of cash on my kids, especially if they're just gonna try it out and then turn around and be like, no, coding's not for me. What about have you guys considered the ability of sharing plans? So like, let's say I generate a plan, it becomes something that everybody else likes that plan, but then can I also go through other people's plans and go, I want that plan and I'm going to refine that?
Yeah, we do have a community, so where you can share the plans as well as adopt others' plans. So yeah, I think I can also share the screen.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, so there we go. So in this community, as you can see, these are all the plans generated and also share by our users as well as, of course, our official plans as well. So, and when you click on the plan, for example, the plan that I just mentioned, this one, created one of the, I think, created by an artist on learning Photoshop for graphic design and UI UX. So it gives you an overview of the plan and then you can go through it. So if you feel like this plan is the plan that you're looking for, you can also adopt the plan by clicking the adoption button here, and then.
I think the adoption button is hidden by our avatar.
No, so for the video, by the way, the black icon with the guy on it, you can actually personal preference turn that off. For the video, I turned it off, so we saw the adoption.
Oh, I see. Great. Yeah. So you saw the share button, you saw the adopt button.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I saw it.
Great. Yeah. So it's just like GitHub fork. You can fork a plan with one click.
That's really cool. So if I adopt plans, is that part of my points, or refining those plans are part of my points? So if I just look at a plan and I go, you know what, that looks exactly like what I want to learn, can I just run through that plan, like adopt it and then run through it?
Yes,
Cool.
You can do that. If you don't take notes, you even don't need to adopt that. You can just follow the plan in the community. And by the way, you can also view other users' notes. Like if they take some notes about their watching a video, you can see their notes.
Oh, cool. Have you guys done any? What about any future plans? And this is a self-motivated question. Have you guys done any plans to create where we're all learning the same thing? So do you want to have like a study party together and meet up and actually like that way we're now having a social interaction and we're all learning the same stuff so that we can actually kind of engage with one another?
Yeah, so we do plan to develop a feature called study group. So basically you can collab with other study partners and on studying a learning plan together. And I think that social learning aspects will also improve the engagement of the learning experience.
Yeah, we should definitely chat about that. Because ours allows you to cluster. So if you wanted a study group, you could basically just put a mingle on a plan or on a type and say, hey, this is the study group for front-end development, right? And then anybody who's working there could just jump in, and we could probably work where that automatically generates. But we can talk about that later. But then when they're in there, they can cluster, they can have conversations without bothering one another. Okay, so I think we are past time, but I really loved your guys' product, so I wanted to give it the proper time to go through everything. But last question is always, there's a bunch of Product Hunt people listening. We're very active in the Product Hunt community, the most influential and active group out there. So the question is what can we do to help you? Besides fix your sound.
You are muted. Jason. Maybe I can, while you are refreshing, I can start this question first. Well, I think the first thing is to try our product. And if you like it, please leave us a review in our product hunt. And there's also on our official website, there's also a link for you to join our Discord group. You can click that link and join our group and report any bugs, or if you want any features, we can talk about it in our Discord group. And the third thing will be if you know any people, any investors, any company that are interested in our solution, please help us to spread our product and share it with more people interested in this.
When do you guys, from an investor's standpoint, when do you guys anticipate you will be post-revenue?
We will like release our subscription plan by the end of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you guys going to? Is your guys' plan to try to bootstrap this, or are you having to bring on an investor?
We are bootstrapping it right now. Yeah.
But do you want, if possible, did you want to bootstrap it further, or did you want to try to get investment and bring it in? Because sometimes the worst thing that can happen to a product is an investment.
We want some investment now.
Yep.
Like, yeah, if there's any chance.
Yeah. So one of the other ways to generate a good revenue too. I don't know if you guys have thought about the lifelong plans. I know that that's something that people buy. You could probably sell yours for $200-$300 pretty easily, because it's a nice product, right? And I could see buying that for my kids. Like if I saw, and I was like, you know what? If it's going to cost me this much for this long, then here, I'll buy a couple of seats. But it's a good way to generate money. I wouldn't go seeking investments until you have revenue, because then they're gonna take a big chunk of your business. Do you guys have a current pitch deck, or do you guys have any? Have you guys been pitching? Have you been actually actively looking for investment?
Yeah, we start our fundraising this month, and we prepare some pitch deck, and we also prepare those for some previous competitions we participate. Yeah, and I think we've done some pitch. Some of them are asynchronous, some of us are synchronous. Yeah, and we are actively seeking for more chances like pitching, or talking with investors like that.
Perfect. Well, so two things. I'm going to connect you to. I've got a good friend that does Pitch Us. It's a podcast recording where he'll go through your pitch, and he used to work for the Park City Angels, which is a big group. Not work, but was part of Park City Angels, which is a big investment group here in Utah, and he went through thousands of pitches. So it's really great to sit down with him because he can walk through and he'll go through your pitch with you, and it's really nice, and it also gets the word out. So I'll introduce you to him, and then the other thing is let's set up a meeting besides this and look at if we can actually get some synergy, because education is a huge one for us. We would love. One of my I love that my CEO talks about this all the time, but he's like, I know it's a fluffy vision, but I envision a world where we have kids from all over the world learning the same thing and connecting on our platform, right? And he specifically, that's what we're interested in. So let's talk offline about that. And I really appreciate your guys' demonstration today. I really love your product, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You can go ahead and hit the end broadcast. Just don't hit the end event. We're removing that button. All right. Well, that comes to the end. I'm going to stop